Welcome to Silent Betrayal, where shocking stories of love, lies, and betrayal unfold. Get ready for jaw-dropping tales that will make you question everything. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the truth is about to be revealed. Now, dive into today's story. Ethan Harris, a 35-year-old software developer, had always believed his life was as stable as a well-written program. Predictable, secure, and built to last. For 7 years, his marriage to Samantha Carter had been his source of pride and comfort. Samantha, at 32, was a charismatic marketing executive who seemed to have it all: charm, intelligence, and ambition. Her career often took her to different cities, something Ethan admired despite the distance it put between them. "It's temporary," Samantha would say, with a confident smile. "Once I climb the ladder a little higher, I'll be home more." Ethan had no reason to doubt her. They were partners in every sense, or so he thought. But one evening, as Samantha packed hurriedly for a last-minute meeting, something felt off. She seemed flustered, her words clipped. "This client is demanding," she muttered, avoiding his gaze. The kiss she gave him was quick, lacking the warmth Ethan had come to expect. As her car disappeared down the driveway, an unshakable feeling of unease settled over him. Wasn't just this trip. Lately, there were subtle changes in her demeanor. Her laughter felt forced, her texts less frequent. Ethan told himself he was overthinking. After all, Samantha had never given him a reason to distrust her. But as the days turned into weeks, the cracks in his trust widened. Ethan's life revolved around structure. As a software developer working remotely, his days were spent in front of glowing screens, debugging lines of code. He thrived on precision and problem-solving, qualities that made him an ideal partner for Samantha, whose life was filled with high-energy pitches and client meetings. Their home was a reflection of their shared dreams. A charming suburban house with a perfectly manicured lawn, filled with memories of laughter and love. But as Samantha's business trips became more frequent, the warmth in their home began to fade. Ethan couldn't ignore the small inconsistencies. Her calls during trips were always brief and rushed. When he asked about her day, her answers were vague. "Same old meetings," she'd say with a tired smile. But it wasn't just her words. It was her eyes, which darted away as if avoiding some unspoken truth. One evening, Ethan found a receipt from a luxury spa tucked into her suitcase. It was dated during a trip Samantha had described as all work, no play. His chest tightened. He told himself there could be a logical explanation, but doubt had already taken root. Days later, Samantha attended a company event, and Ethan tagged along. Her colleagues were warm and welcoming, but when he casually mentioned her frequent trips, the room fell awkwardly silent. "Oh, she travels a lot?" one coworker asked. Ethan's stomach churned. The puzzle pieces didn't fit, and Ethan couldn't ignore the growing sense of unease. Unable to let go of his doubts, Ethan decided to dig deeper. He combed through credit card statements, finding charges that didn't align with Samantha's stories. Luxury hotels in cities she claimed were too hectic for sightseeing. Expensive dinners that didn't match the takeout meals she described. Ethan's instinct screamed betrayal, but he wanted to be sure. He confided in his childhood friend, Ryan Bennett, a 34-year-old private investigator. Over coffee, Ethan shared his concerns. Ryan listened intently, nodding. "You need to find out for yourself, Ethan," he said. "Otherwise, it'll eat you alive." Ethan hesitated. Following Samantha felt like a violation of trust, but wasn't her secrecy already breaking that trust? With a heavy heart, he decided to act. The opportunity came when Samantha announced a 3-day business trip to Chicago. Ethan booked a separate flight, arriving the day before her scheduled meetings. He checked into a hotel near the address Samantha had given him. On the second evening, Ethan spotted her leaving her hotel. She wasn't dressed for business. She wore a fitted red dress and heels, her hair styled in soft waves. His pulse quickened as he followed her discreetly to an upscale restaurant. From his vantage point near the bar, Ethan watched as Samantha greeted a man with an intimate hug. Victor Hayes was older, charismatic, and confident, the kind of man who exuded wealth and power. As Samantha laughed and leaned closer to Victor, Ethan's world crumbled. This wasn't a client meeting. This was a date. Ethan waited until Samantha returned home to confront her. He sat on the couch, holding the hotel receipt and a photo he had taken of her with Victor. Samantha's face turned pale when she saw the evidence. "I followed you," Ethan said, his voice steady but laced with pain. "Who is he?" Tears streamed down Samantha's face as she confessed. She admitted to leading a double life, using her business trips as an escape from the monotony of their marriage. "I never meant to hurt you," she sobbed. "Victor made me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years." Ethan listened in stunned silence, his heart breaking with every word. The days that followed were a blur of anger, sadness, and reflection. Ethan couldn't escape the memories of their life together, their first date, their wedding vows, the quiet moments of laughter that had once defined their love. He leaned on Ryan and his sister Grace, a therapist, to process the betrayal. Grace reminded him that Samantha's actions were a reflection of her own insecurities, not his shortcomings. Slowly, Ethan began to rebuild his shattered self-esteem. Ethan realized he couldn't salvage a marriage built on lies. He filed for divorce and began the painful journey of letting go. He picked up hobbies he'd neglected, started volunteering, and reconnected with old friends. One day, as he stood in his backyard, watching the sunset, he felt a flicker of hope. Life, after Samantha, wasn't the end. It was a new beginning. Ethan decided to share his story to help others navigate betrayal. He spoke about the importance of self-respect, open communication, and the strength to walk away from toxic relationships. "Sometimes, the hardest choices are the ones that set you free," he said, his voice steady with newfound clarity. Thank you for watching this emotional and eye-opening story. If you've ever faced betrayal or challenges in love, share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. See you in the next video.